Welcome to the orientation video for spring 2022. My name is Professor Leon, and this video serves as an orientation for both of my second 9-week trig classes for this spring, Math 140. This course is primarily designed for STEM majors, that is, students majoring in science, technology, engineering, or mathematics. Traditionally, most students who take this course are planning to study physics and engineering. Lately, though, many of the students who take this course are taking it to satisfy their math requirements for transfer and are not STEM majors. Of course, everybody is welcome. Okay, so if you already haven't done so, I recommend that you pause the video and print out a copy of the syllabus for this course located in my Canvas shell under the Files tab. Go on the left, get Access Canvas, go on the left, access the Files tab, and you should see syllabus is there. The syllabus is there. So for the remainder of the video, I'm going to go through the syllabus and add a few details and comments as we go along. If you have any questions along the way, and this actually goes for the entire course, email them to me and I'll get back to you as soon as I can. Okay, so let's go ahead and get started with the syllabus. All right. So from the top, this is a syllabus. This is Math 140. This is a trigonometry class, and the class covers both sections 29405 and 31770. So those are the you should be in one of those two classes. And of course, this is spring 2022. My name is Professor Leon. And just a little bit about myself before we get going on this. I'm in my 33rd year as a full-time professor here. I was hired as a full-time professor in 1990. And I primarily teach STEM courses, which means a lot of calculus, mostly calculus, and some trig and some pre-calculus courses. My primary interest is in the field of mathematics known as mathematical physics, even though I'm not a physicist. Okay, so if you have questions for your physics classes, you should direct them to your physics professor. Okay, mathematical physics is basically, to me, it's the mathematics of the sciences, which at the community college level means calculus and differential equations and linear algebra. Anyway, onward with the syllabus. My email address is arleon@cerritos.edu, and that's the only way that you're going to communicate with me. Don't email me through Canvas, and I don't hold Zoom meetings or anything else. More of that coming along in a second. My YouTube channel is One Calculus Man. So what does all this mean so far? all of my online courses are conducted what's called asynchronously, which means that in part that there will be no live lectures at all. You simply study video lectures online on YouTube, complete homework, and take exams. This type of class is not for everybody. There are very few deadlines for this type of class, mostly exams, and this requires an extreme amount of self-discipline. Okay, so back to the syllabus. My office hours are Mondays, Tuesdays, and Wednesdays from 1 to 2, but that's really not complete. You can send me email at any time during the week, whether it's Monday through Friday or on the weekends. If I'm at my computer, I will respond. And since we're not holding any live meetings at all, this is going to be real important for you to when you have questions, you send to me, and don't hesitate. You can send as many questions as you want. Like I said, there are no live office hours at all. There are no Zoom. I do not hold Zoom meetings at all. So if you have questions for me, just send them to me to my email address, arleon@cerritos.edu, and I will respond as quickly as I can. Okay. The text is Trigonometry, a Right Triangle Approach, the 5th edition by Sullivan and Sullivan. In the email that I sent you on Friday night, I listed the ISBN and a link to the bookstore if you want to get it there. You don't need to get your textbook at the bookstore, but if you can, I really think you should get the textbook as soon as possible because we start kind of right away. Prerequisites. For this course, you need an Algebra 2 class or an intermediate algebra class under your belt, and also a geometry course. For at Cerritos College, the math course is Math 80 or 80B for the algebra requirement and Math 70 for the geometry requirement. Okay, let's see what's next here. Graphing calculator. All transfer level courses at Cerritos College require the use of a graphing calculator, and the department recommends that a Texas Instruments calculator is used. Now, a couple notes on that. I don't use the graphing calculator very heavily for any of my classes, so you won't be needing it specifically right away, and more generally, you won't be needing it for very much. But we do require that you have a graphing calculator. The Texas Instruments requirement is not firm at all. Texas Instruments, we have an agreement with Texas Instruments whereby they send us a lot of equipment. So we recommend their equipment because we're primarily familiar with their stuff. But if you have any other graphing calculator, I don't recommend that you go out and buy another one. If you need help with your calculator, just send me your questions and I'll do my best to research your questions and stuff. So what else? Okay, the goals. The goals are right. The goals that I've listed here on your syllabus are right out of the course catalog. We really don't need to read those things because you really don't know what they are yet. Basically, we're going to be studying the branch of geometry called trigonometry, which has to do with measurements and other aspects of mathematics that are required for STEM majors using triangles. If you want to read through the goals, that's fine. The next thing is homework. Homework assignments will be posted on Canvas, again under the Files tab. And pretty much that's all I'm going to be using Canvas for, is to list homework for you or any other handouts that I might have for you. All your lectures are again accessed through YouTube on my channel. Okay, I don't collect homework. Okay, that's not listed on the syllabus. I don't collect homework. You absolutely must complete it to be successful in the course, but I don't collect it. So if you have any questions on your homework along the way, please send me an email. Send me lots of emails with questions as they arise. You're not in this alone. We don't hold any live meetings. I'm right here for you, and I answer emails pretty quickly, okay? All right, so exams. There will be 2 major exams, and we'll talk a little bit more about when the exams will be and stuff. And 1 final exam. There will be 2 major exams and 1 final exam. Each exam is worth 100 points, and the final exam is worth 200 points. Something that's not on here is that the final exam is comprehensive. It covers the entire course. And to get ready for the final exam, I would recommend that you study your previous 2 exams, which by that time you will have studied, and any materials that we cover after the second exam. And here's something that you might find interesting is that students may work together in groups of up to 4 people. I allow students to work in groups, and this is not just for online classes. This is for my in-person classes or whatever. I allow students to work in teams. So here's the lowdown on groups. You may work alone. You don't have to work in a team. Or you can work in teams of up to 4 people. So you can work by yourself or with a partner or with as many as 4 people working together. Only 1 exam is to be submitted per team. So if you work an exam with 4 people, you don't send me 4 different exams. You send me 1 exam. So 1 person in the group should be assigned the task of sending me the exam. And again, you're not obligated at all to work in a group. And you can change groups at any time except during a test. I don't want you changing up groups during an exam. That's not a good idea. So if you're not comfortable in your group, all you have to do is notify your group that you don't want to be in the group anymore, and of course notify me as well. Okay, I want to keep track of who's in what group. So along those lines, how to form a group. If you already know who you want to work with, and of course you know they want to work with you, send me the names of your teammates, and remember that the maximum group size is 4. Okay, if you don't know anybody in the class, which is most likely going to be the case, and you want to join a group, just send me a separate email stating that you want to be in a group, and I will try to match you up with others. Okay, I'm usually pretty successful about doing that. Okay, again, remember you are not obligated to work in a team. It is perfectly fine for you to work on your own. Okay. All right, let's see here. Okay, a little bit on submitting exams. Exams are to be handwritten on clean white paper. Don't use lined paper or graphing paper or grids of any kind. It doesn't usually turn out real well to send PDFs with lined paper combined with written stuff. So get some clean white paper, and make sure that your scans are clear before sending them. So check out your scans before you send them to me. If I can't read it, I won't grade it. I can't grade it. Okay. And here's something real important up next here. Send your exams as a PDF, and merge your pages to one single PDF if necessary. Do not send photos. I will not grade photos. You need to send me a PDF, your exams in PDF form. And also, do not send your exams to Canvas. I only use Canvas to send you stuff, to give you stuff. Okay. If you don't have a scanning app on your mobile device, well, you should probably check first. A lot of devices I've heard already have scanning features on it, but if you don't, there are many free scanning apps available. I have a cheap smartphone, and mine didn't have a scanner, and I just Googled free scanner, and I got one that works fine. I think mine is called Tiny Scanner or something like that. You don't have to use the one I have, but I'm not the greatest technological whiz, and I was able to get it onto my smartphone and use it very, very easily. But you will need it. Don't send me pictures. Don't send photos of your work. It needs to be in PDF form. And I would make sure that you're capable of doing that before your exam date and stuff. You're gonna want to spend all your time during the exam working on your exam, and not worried about the technology and stuff. All right. Makeup exams. I don't give them. So I don't give makeup exams, and I don't make exceptions to that. Um, let's see what's next here. I came up with a few more sort of do and don'ts regarding exams. And I think I put most of these actually on each exam, to list them on each exam, but I want to go through them with you here. You need to show all work, unless it's a multiple choice section of a test or a multiple choice question. You need to show all work. The flip side of that is for the multiple choice questions. For multiple choice questions, you just send me the answer. But if it's not a multiple choice question, you show all work. Okay. What's up next here? Unless otherwise indicated, you may use your textbook, notes, files on the class Canvas page, and video lectures for this course posted on YouTube. And of course, calculators when appropriate. So basically, all tests are open book, and you're working with teams. So it's a pretty liberal atmosphere. But there are a few absolutely forbidden things. So one of them is that you may not use any online resources, including Chegg.com and Slater.com, and there are others. This is cheating, and I check answers against those that are found on these websites. When you submit a question to these websites, it's not done in isolation. I can simply Google my test questions and see what kind of answers are being supplied by Chegg and stuff. So don't do it. It's cheating, and I treat cheaters very very harshly. Okay. let's see. You may not work with anybody, including tutors outside of your own group. So you're only allowed to work within your own group. You can't send spies to other groups and stuff like that. That's called cheating. That's also cheating. Okay. Any group where cheating is determined to have occurred will receive a score of 0, and that's for the entire group. Okay, so you might want to discuss with your group mates this policy before starting a test, just to ensure the biggest chances that nobody in the group is going to cheat. And again, you're not obligated to be in a group, so if you're not comfortable with your group, get out of the group. But any group where any cheating is determined to have occurred is going to receive a score of 0. And this is not negotiable. Okay. You're only allowed to use the methods and the theorems discussed in video lecture. And that's the video lectures for this course, not for any other course. The video lectures are very important. You cannot get through the course without viewing and studying my video lectures on YouTube. So how are you supposed to know what methods you can use and what methods you can't use? It's very simple. You access and study video lectures. Okay, take notes just like you would in a classroom and study those lecture notes. You cannot get through this course without doing the two primary things, and that's big things, and that's studying video lectures and finishing your homework. And again, the homework has to be finished. Don't just start it and decide you've done enough or that you think you've done enough. You got to really complete the homework problems, okay? All right, so grading. Grading is determined using a very standard scale. 90 to 100 is an A, 80 to 89 is a B, and so forth. Okay, just a special note that grades below C are not considered passing grades. So if you get something less than a C, you're going to need to make up or retake the class. And I think you only have 2 opportunities to do that. So just putting it out there. All right, so the course outline is next, and some of the stuff on the course outline is really firm and like carved in granite, and some of the stuff is not. Some of the stuff I have some wiggle room on. The things that I generally don't move, and in fact, in 33 years of being a math professor, I don't think I've changed exam dates more than once or twice. So the exam dates are firm. And just so we can get used to reading this course outline, notice that for example, on week 1, which is March 21st to the 27th, Monday through Sunday, you are to study video segments on YouTube covering sections 2.1, 2.2, and 2.3 and complete homework. There are no deadlines to complete homework. Well, I guess with the exception of by the exam date. So you're gonna need to discipline yourself, and I think that's one of the biggest problems is that students don't have really firm deadlines for stuff. So you can put this stuff off. Please don't. The materials in the very beginning, the first section, are very simple, but the course gets really difficult kind of quick, especially as we head toward chapter 3 and stuff. The chapter 3 is where we merge trigonometry and algebra, and this is where students tend to have the hardest problems. So try not to fall behind. If you I keep saying this, so that I don't get as many requests for help on email through email that I think I should be getting. Please don't hesitate to send me emails. I don't mind, and don't worry about sending me materials that are supposed to have been covered even weeks before. I won't make any judgments. I will look at your questions and I will do my best to answer those questions for you. Okay, so don't be shy. Send me lots of questions as they arise. So notice on week 3. Weeks 3, 7, and 9, I've highlighted those weeks. The highlighted weeks are the weeks in which we have our exams. So on week 3, we'll have our first exam. And notice there, just concentrate on week 3 for a second, that I have, we review on that week, which means you review your homework and stuff, or finish up any last bits of homework that you haven't done. And you feel free to send me lots of questions that you might have. And you don't have to edit your questions. Send me honest questions. If there are questions that I can't answer, that is they're too close to what I might be putting on the exam, and I don't want to reveal that. Let me decide, and I'll answer, and I'll let you know. Okay. And notice that the exam is posted. Your exam will be posted, and it doesn't say where, but I think I mentioned earlier on Canvas. I'll post your exam on Canvas by 6 p.m. on Thursday of that week. And it's due back to me exactly 24 hours later. I need the exam back to my email, postmarked no later than 6 p.m. Okay. And again, just as a reminder, you need to send your exam as a PDF. Okay. Um, what else? Okay, so on week 7, it's the same deal. Although it's on week 7, it's exam 2, and again, it'll be posted on Thursday and due 24 hours later to me. Okay, so what happens during those 24 hours is hopefully you're communicating with your group mates if you decide you want to work in a group. And you can send questions back and forth. And we don't have any live meetings. We don't hold any Zoom meetings. You and I. There's nothing says you can't meet with your classmates either through Zoom or Canvas or any other way you want to do that. I would recommend that you do that. So you're next to working together would be in person would be working on a whatever Zoom or whatever. Um, in fact, although we're not meeting, there's if you feel comfortable meeting with your classmates, I'm not saying you must do this, but there's nothing preventing you from contacting your classmates and maybe meeting up with them. Be careful to socially distance your stuff. We're still in a pandemic or whatever. But even those requirements are getting, as of this taping, are getting kind of lax. So, anyways, what else? Let's see. Let me take a quick look here before we end this video. I think that's about it. Again, I want to welcome you to your course. And I hope you enjoy the course. It's really, even if you're not a STEM major, it's a very interesting course. And what you're going to get a glimpse into is the mathematics that scientists have to use on a daily basis. And if it's not your thing, that's fine. That's fine. Just try to get as much out of the course as you possibly can. And again, welcome. And that's it. Have a great semester, everybody.